Well, moving on to the next news, the cabinet yesterday approved a financial package worth 325 billion baht to help individuals and business operators affected by the worst floods in 5 decades. Deputy Prime Minister Kitirat Naranong said after the meeting that the cabinet had acknowledged the huge damage to individuals and business operators. This package has been approved to assure all that they will be assisted. This package excludes investment in infrastructure, which could cost billions of baht. He said the budget was divided into 2 parts, one for the people and another for affected industries. The funds will be released through many sources: the Government Housing Bank, the Bank of Agricultural and Agricultural Cooperatives, the Government Savings Bank will disburse a total of 80 billion baht in loans to individuals. The Social Security Office will offer 10 billion baht aid to SSO members suffering from the floods. The government also has a budget to provide up to 45,000 baht to flood-hit families. He said GSB and commercial banks would together lend 40 billion baht to affected small and medium-sized enterprises, of which 20 billion baht will come from GSB. The interest rates have not been finalized, but the government has said they will be lower than market rates. SMEs can also borrow from commercial banks. The Small Business Credit Corporation will guarantee loans worth a combined 120 billion baht. The interest rate is fixed at 3% for 3 years. The Finance Ministry will coordinate with the Japan Bank for International Cooperation for loans of 50 billion baht to large-scale manufacturers. The government will seek 15 billion baht to lend to industrial estate operators to rehabilitate and invest in a flood prevention system and new infrastructure. SSO is allocating 10 billion baht for affected enterprises who are also SSO members and need the funds to retain their staff. Achaka Siribunrung, Secretary General of the Board of Investment, said the BOI was preparing extra incentives for flood-hit businesses that have to invest in new machines to replace damaged ones. Manufacturers who want to relocate their operations to other industrial estates will be offered the same incentives provided to factories in zones 2 and 3. However, the investment value qualifying for the privilege will be limited to those who want to relocate their operations, as the BOI would like them to continue their operations in their current industrial states. As a result, the industrial states will be not affected much. The incentives will be submitted to the BOI's Board of Directors, which is expected to meet in the next couple of days. Kitirat said the Commerce Ministry yesterday had announced 16 additional price control goods, including flashlights, life vests, water pump, drinking water, toothpaste, sandbags, and small boats.
And on the line with us, we have a representative from the Bangkok Metro Public Company Limited, Kun Chartchai Praditpong, the Corporate Relations Director. Good afternoon, Kun Chartchai.
สวัสดีค่ะ คุณชาติชัย
Yes, good morning.
Hello, Kun Chartchai. There are reports that some exits at the flood risk MRT stations are already closed. What's the current situation now for the people who need to use the MRT? Which stations of these exits, so-called some exits, are closed?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to say that now MRT is still operate for the traffic. The exit that maybe some passenger has seen that we close is only on the prevention for the flood, for the flood prevention preparation in advance. And now we have to close the exit. 50% of the whole exit that we have.
Yep.
But I can concede that we still operate.
And yes. Kun Chartchai, are there any plans to close some stations that have seen the areas see heavier floods?
Yes, thank you. We take a serious at the up north of 5 stations at the north. I can say that at Bang Su Station, Kampang Phet Station, Suan Chatuchak Station, Khon Yotin Station, and Lat Phrao Station, that we forecast that the flood will become this direction from up north.
So are you going to close these stations if the floods get worse?
We close to the situation hour by hour.
Okay, I see. So.
But now we didn't close yet.
And at
But
which
as soon as the flood will come on the footpath, we have to immediately.
Kun Chartchai, at which point would the stations be closed? I mean, are you expecting a certain water level until you start closing?
Pardon, please say again.
Yeah. At which point would the MRT stations be closed? Would there be a certain water level in the area that you will start to stop operation?
Yes, at least at the second stair of the entrance, we will close. The reason why is at that time the river of the flood is maybe around 40 centimeters. That means no traffic on the road, so the passenger cannot access our system. No reason to open the system or operate it.
I see, Kun Chartchai. And what are the Bangkok Metro Public Company preventive measures for the flood here? What do you have some kind of flood barriers?
In the flood area, that we take serious every area. But yes, the measurement is that I said that we take a look at the flood on the road system.
Yes, and what are your evacuation plans in case there is flood during operation? How will you evacuate passengers or when there's flood or a power cut?
For evacuation?
Yes.
For evacuation, when the passenger is still in the station or in our system, and then the flood will come, and we have to close the system, we will bring all of them to the next station that without or have a flood not serious, and let them go out from the station that's safe. So we sure that that plan is no problem about our passenger to evacuate them.
I see. And how about in a more worst case scenario, how will you evacuate passengers in case of a power cut? Do you have a power generator, and how long does it last?
Yes, we have two substations, but that two substations for the power is above ground at our depot, 3 meters above ground. So that substation has no problem about the flood. But in the worst case, if the power is cut down, we have the generation that I can say that a backup system. So that backup system we have operate at least 2 hours.
Okay, and Kun Chartchai, how many passengers do you have traveling on the MRT at the moment each day?
Right now, we before the flood situation, we have 220,000 passengers per day. But right now, the passenger is decreasing rate is maybe 20%. Now we have only 180,000 passengers a day. But I can say that it's not from unsure for the system, but it's because most of the passengers stay at home.
I see.
And all of them cannot go out or use our system.
Okay, Kun Chartchai, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
And before we go into the news, let's repeat some important information here. The stations of the MRT, which are now being placed under a careful look, are the areas which are close to the water coming from Don Mueang, which are Jatutak Station, Pahon Yotin, and Lat Prao, which they have to take a look at the water levels on an hour basis. Now let's move on to the last news for this break. Although the government allows civil servants to take days off on October the 27th to October the 28th and October the 31st, the Bank of Thailand does not declare any special bank holiday. The Bank of Thailand said in a statement, to ensure the smooth continuation of economic activities, the Bank of Thailand, in consultation with Thai commercial banks and branches of foreign commercial banks, announces that there will be no special bank holiday. During the days, the Stock Exchange of Thailand will also remain open.